Jack Osbourne grew up surrounded by fame, chaos, and the noise of rock and roll. His last name alone carries decades of music, madness, and memories. But in a world of flashing lights and loud guitars, one woman quietly stepped in and gave him something no fame could ever offer: peace. Her name is Aree Gearhart, and she changed everything. Aree wasn't born into the world of celebrity. She came from Atlanta, Georgia, a place where dreams are real but life moves at a gentler rhythm. Long before she met Jack, she had already built a world of creativity and calm around her. She worked as a magazine editor and later became an interior designer, known for her soft aesthetic, cozy textures, muted colors, spaces that breathed life into silence. She was drawn to harmony, not headlines. When Aree met Jack in 2019, he was a man in the middle of emotional recovery. He had gone through a painful divorce and was balancing fatherhood with the public scrutiny that never seemed to fade. Yet when Aree walked into his life, things began to change. Her presence wasn't loud or dramatic. She didn't arrive with fireworks or grand gestures. She arrived with warmth, understanding, and patience, the kind that wraps around a tired soul like a blanket. Their love began quietly, almost privately. At a time when Jack was trying to find his footing again, Aree became his safe place. They spent long evenings talking, cooking, and sharing simple joys far away from Hollywood's spotlight. The relationship grew naturally, not through social media posts or events, but through laughter, healing, and mutual respect. For Jack, it felt like breathing again. As their bond deepened, Aree met Jack's 3 daughters from his previous marriage: Pearl, Andy, and Minnie. She never tried to replace their mother. Instead, she became another source of love and stability in their lives. The girls took to her instantly, calling her Aree, with affection, and in her, they found someone who listened, cared, and stayed. She understood that love is built not through words but through consistency. In December 2021, Jack asked Aree to marry him. It wasn't a dramatic Hollywood engagement. It was simple, pure, and heartfelt. Aree shared the news online, writing that her best friend had asked her to marry him in a magical winter wonderland, and she'd love him forever and then some. That post wasn't just an announcement. It was a whisper of gratitude, a sign of 2 hearts finding peace in each other. The following year, their love story deepened even more when Aree gave birth to their daughter, Maple Artemis Osbourne, in July 2022. The world welcomed the new baby, but for Jack, it was something deeper. Maple was proof that healing was real, that after heartbreak, new life could bloom. Aree took motherhood with grace, balancing love for Maple and care for Jack's 3 older girls. Together they built a blended family filled with warmth, laughter, and long Sunday breakfasts. But life, as it always does, brought its share of sorrow. Jack's father, Ozzy Osbourne, the legendary Prince of Darkness, had been battling severe health problems for years. And when his final days approached, it was Aree who stood by Jack's side, holding him through the pain. She became his strength during sleepless nights, whispering comfort when words failed. When Ozzy finally passed, Jack's heart broke, not just as a son but as a man who had grown up watching his father conquer stages and sickness alike. The loss was crushing. But Aree stayed. She didn't try to fix the pain. She simply stayed close, holding his hand through every memory, every tear, every whisper of disbelief. In moments when the world expected Jack to crumble, it was Aree who kept him grounded. She made sure the home was peaceful, that Maple's laughter filled the rooms, that the house smelled of warm coffee and candles. She became his refuge, the calm after a lifetime of storms. Even in grief, she taught him that love doesn't end with death. It transforms into quiet strength. When they finally married in September 2023, it wasn't about spectacle. The ceremony was small, heartfelt, surrounded by close friends and family. Jack looked into Aree's eyes, and in that moment, he saw everything he had prayed for: a second chance, a steady heart, and a love that didn't demand to be seen by the world to feel real. It was private, emotional, and deeply human. Together, Jack and Aree became a portrait of balance. He had grown up in front of cameras. She preferred to stay behind them. He came from noise, she from silence. Yet together, they built harmony. Their home became a place of laughter, love, and renewal, a far cry from the madness of reality TV or the flashing chaos of rock concerts. Those who know Aree describe her as genuine and gentle, a soul who doesn't chase fame but radiates grace. She isn't on magazine covers every week, or walking red carpets just for show. Instead, she's often at home designing, creating, and nurturing. Her interiors are extensions of who she is, warm, grounded, and beautifully imperfect. To her, design is not about decorating spaces, it's about healing them, just as she healed Jack. She's the kind of woman who values mornings with coffee over champagne parties, who loves walks with her dogs, and who would rather watch a sunset than scroll through gossip feeds. Her love for nature, simplicity, and family shows in everything she does. Every photo she shares seems to breathe calm, a reminder that life can be beautiful even when it's quiet. In a family known for wildness, Aree became the whisper of peace. Sharon Osbourne, Jack's mother, once described her as a blessing, and that word couldn't be truer. Aree brought back joy to the Osbourne household, helping everyone rediscover what really matters. And when grief came, she stood firm, not as a celebrity wife, but as a true partner. There are countless stories in Hollywood about love found and lost, about whirlwind romances that fade under the spotlight. But Aree and Jack's story is different. It's not about fame or fortune. It's about two souls who met when life had worn them down and decided to rebuild together, quietly. She gave Jack a new reason to smile, a home where he could finally rest, and a shoulder strong enough to bear his pain. Through the laughter of their daughters, the memories of his father, and the stillness of their evenings, Jack found the peace he'd been missing for years. So when people call her Jack Osbourne's wife, they only see half the story. Because Aree Gearhart is far more than that. She's the artist behind the calm, the woman who turned heartbreak into hope, and the reason Jack's world now sounds more like a melody than an echo of the past. If you felt touched by this story, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and tell us in the comments what love means to you. Don't forget to subscribe for more heartfelt stories, because sometimes, the most powerful tales aren't the loudest ones, they're the quiet ones that heal.